I believe that everybody has a story, and I'm fascinated to hear them. So come with me as we take a walk down Fascination Street. Hey guys, if you like what I'm doing, click the Amazon banner at the top of the homepage on FascinationStreetPod.com and do all of your shopping through Amazon. Once you click on it and it takes you to Amazon, you can bookmark it or add it to your favorites and you won't have to go to my site each time. It helps me keep the show going, and again, thanks for listening. Welcome back, folks. This episode is with Ryan McAnuff. Ryan is a Canadian-born dual citizen who speed skates for Team Ireland. In this episode, we get to know Ryan a little bit, how he grew up in Canada and why he's skating for Team Ireland and not for Team Canada. We get into Ryan holding the speed skating record for Team Ireland for the 1,500-meter race. We also talk about Ryan recently cutting his long hair and donating it to Locks for Love and what that's all about. Plus, we talk about what the future holds for Ryan, including a potential medical career, and we talk about how he plans to keep involved with speed skating for Team Ireland. Enjoy, guys. This is Irish speed skater Ryan McAnuff.
Yeah, talk to me, yeah.
Welcome to Fascination Street, Ryan McAnuff. Am I saying your last name right?
Yeah, that was actually perfect. Usually people go with McAnuff or McAnuff, but no, it's McAnuff, so that was great.
Awesome. I'm cool. So, okay, Ryan, so tell me where you're from.
So I was born just outside of Toronto, Canada, in a smallish town called Oakville. So I'm the third of four boys. So I've got two older brothers, one younger brother, Sean. Grew up there most of my life up until high school, and then I moved to Quebec, Canada to go to university at Bishop's University. I did an undergraduate degree in biology.
So all of you guys were born and raised in Toronto or just outside of Toronto?
Yep, exactly. All four of us. Yeah, and my dad's actually, he was born in Oakville as well. So, yeah, been there a while.
Oh, okay. So basically your whole family is from Oakville. Where's your mom from?
She's from Hamilton, Ontario, so 30 minutes west of where I was born.
It's all boys?
Yep, four boys.
Wow. Does everybody call you the Weasleys?
Yeah. No, I heard that there was a newspaper article on us last week, and there's a picture of us. And that's what someone commented. I don't think I've heard it before, but it was pretty funny.
Well, are all four of you red-haired fellows?
Honestly, I never really saw myself as red hair, but in certain pictures, I definitely look ginger. But in real life, I'm actually like a brownie blonde. So I think it's just the lighting in the pictures, or at least that's maybe what I tell myself. But my two older brothers are like dark brown hair. So really only Sean and I have the blondish ginger kind of look.
That's really interesting because every picture I've seen of you, it looks like you have almost dyed red hair.
Oh, yeah?
It's pretty crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I usually tell people I have blonde hair, but there's definitely some ginger in it. But I guess it's just, how you look at it. That's pretty funny.
Interesting. So, all four of you are second-generation Canadian-born citizens, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
and that's going to come into question later when we talk about some other things. Toronto is the only city I've been to in Canada, and it was beautiful.
Yeah, no, Toronto's nice. It's very busy, but it's nice to. I was born just outside of it, so you can go into the busyness if you want, but you don't have to always have it.
That's kind of like me. Right now, I live in a town called Boerne, Boerne, and it's just outside of San Antonio, Texas. And so I can go into the hustle and bustle of the big city, or I can just chill out in my smaller town, which has everything. So
yeah, that's awesome.
So yeah, I get you. That's cool. One of the coolest things about Toronto when I was there is that I guess downtown underground. There's all these stores and shopping and restaurants, and it's just amazing. Like, the town is beautiful. It's like downtown is just gorgeous, but then underground, there's this whole nother little city. It was really amazing.
Yeah, no, that is, there's definitely some hidden gems in Toronto.
Absolutely. So you guys grow up in Toronto, and then you went to university where?
In Sherbrooke, Quebec, about an hour and a half east of Montreal. Just a really small undergraduate university. It's primarily English. In Quebec, you speak French for the most part, but it's actually an English university, and I speak very little French. I wish I could speak another language, and I've tried. I took 2 courses in my undergrad, but I just, like, it doesn't stick with me. I forgot it all within, like, 5 months, so.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit older than you, like probably 20 years. But when I was in school, here in America, 2 years of a second language was mandatory. You could pick whatever language you wanted, but 2 years was mandatory in high school. Is that mandatory in Canada?
I had to take French mandatory from grade 4. So when, I don't know, I was like 8 or 9 years old until grade 9. But then after grade 9, first year of high school, they say it's optional, which I think is kind of dumb because almost no one continues with it. And it's an amazing life skill to have another language. There was Spanish as well as an option, but that was never mandatory. That was always an optional course. So, I stopped taking French when I was 14 years old, and then I wanted to retake it when I was 18, 19, but it was too late for me.
It was too late for you. Over here, especially in Texas, the popular second language is Spanish. So it makes sense that it would be French up there.
Exactly, yeah.
So you said you're majoring in biology?
Yeah, exactly.
Why biology?
Honestly, like in grade 11 and 12, my oldest brother, Patrick, he did a kinesiology degree. And then my brother is 2 years older, Connor, he did an engineering degree. So I was kind of set on science-y engineering, and I thought engineering would be totally what I wanted to do. But grade 11, 12, I kind of just switched over. I was just more interested in biology, and the thought of becoming a doctor was like really, I'm like, wow, that would be amazing. Like, I could totally do that. So, I did an undergraduate degree, a BSc in biology, and then double major in pre-med, because I was like, I think the doctor route is what I want to do. So I graduated this May 2 years ago. So 2017, I graduated.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
And currently, are you a med student at the University of Limerick?
Yes, that is right on. So I'm in my second semester now. So I just started 5 months ago in September, and I am absolutely loving it. It's been quite amazing, to be honest.
Now, where is Limerick? Is that in Ireland, like everybody would imagine?
Yeah, it's on the west coast of Ireland. Ireland is a tiny country, kilometer-wise, so getting from east to west is only like 2 hours. So I'm pretty much, I guess, the furthest away I could be from Dublin, but it's not that far.
Gotcha. Now, you were born and raised in Canada, but you just said Ireland like you're from Ireland. Like, I say Ireland, and you said like Ireland. Yeah, you sounded like the pot of gold guy.
Yeah, that's the one thing everyone always calls me out on. They go, "What? Did you just turn Irish when you said that?" And it's so funny that you noticed that. I don't notice it, but everyone else seems to.
So what I need you to do is I'm going to need you to say 3 words, and then that's going to transport all of my listeners to 3 different countries instantly, okay? But I want you to say I want you to say all together, okay? I want you to say Ireland is about love. Say it.
Ireland is about love.
Nice. You said Ireland, and then you said a boot.
Oh, true. Yeah, there's Canadian a boot. I definitely did not say a boot.
No, you did not. But you didn't say about either. It was sort of in the middle.
Yeah, a bit of a mix. No, I see that for sure. That's funny.
All right, so before we continue, I have seen a bunch of pictures of you with like maybe shoulder length or a little bit longer hair, and then I swear I saw a picture of you with short hair. Did you cut your hair, or was it just the picture?
I cut my hair about a week or 2 ago. I've had long hair for at least 3 years now, and I mean, it was more just like I loved how hilarious it looked, and it made me kind of stand out a little. And I mean, I don't think I looked terrible with it, but I decided it was time to cut it, and I'm pretty happy. Like now I feel free. Like I don't know, no maintenance now.
Yeah, I bet. Now, what did you do with your hair when you cut it off?
I donated it, actually. I think it was an American place, because there's like a Pantene Pro V program in Canada, but they just stopped taking hair like a week before I cut it, which I'm like, what? Because I guess synthetic wigs are becoming more popular and more realistic. So, I mean, I flew to the Netherlands like 2 days after I cut it. So I got my mom to send it to, I want to say it's called Locks for Love. And I think the headquarters was in Florida. So hopefully someone will be very happy to receive it.
That does sound familiar. So it probably is either Locks for Love or Love Locks. But that's a pretty familiar company. And everybody listening, that company makes wigs out of human hair for people who don't have hair, like if they're going through chemo or if they have some sort of an issue where they can't really grow their own hair. And that's really cool. My mom, she had leukemia a few years back. Well, before she found out she had leukemia, she was having trouble growing her hair. And so she was wearing lots of wigs. So I think that's really cool. That was very cool of you. What made you decide to do that?
I've been honestly meaning to cut my hair for probably 6 months or maybe even more. And then, I mean, Sean cut his hair about a year ago, so he donated his as well. So I was like, oh, I'll have like 14 inches to donate. So I just went to a barber. They braided it up, snipped it off, and then donated it. So I guess it was probably Sean who got the idea of donating it.
Oh, so he donated his too?
Yeah, exactly. He's actually done it twice now. He had long hair when he was, well, not as long, but longish hair 10 years ago, and he donated it, and then he did it again last year.
Wow, that guy's a hair factory.
Yeah, seriously, now that I think about it, that's weird.
Yeah, that is weird. That guy needs a hobby or a job or something. Yeah, good Lord.
Every 10 years goes on a crisis and starts growing out his hair.
There you go. Now, did you guys cut your hair because you got tired of being referred to as a redheaded Hanson brothers?
Yeah. Oh, man. I don't know why we really did. I guess it was just time.
So how is it going at University of Limerick?
It's going well. It's an interesting medical school where it's called problem-based learning. So we meet with doctors 4 days a week, which is really cool. And we go through cases and like kind of learn about like a main body system via a case. So it's like a patient came in with heart pain and referred pain to his left shoulder, stuff like that. And then we learn that, oh, that's because I don't need to get too technical, like the dermatomes of the skin form this way. And it's really cool how they do it. And it's so interesting being in contact with real doctors like at this moment. Like they work as a doctor 3 days a week and they work with us a couple days a week too and all that stuff. So it's been amazing so far. It's very busy, but it's definitely what I want to do. It
sounds like you're almost doing a residency a little bit.
Yeah, I kind of agree. And I mean, that's kind of cool. We're not doing like, obviously any, like actual work on patients, but, right. I mean, that's more third year that we kind of start in the hospital doing our rotations. So yeah, sure. I'm already excited. And it's like that first semester just flew by. I can't believe it's already like, I'm already 5 months in now.
That's awesome. So are you going to be a general practitioner? Are you going to have a specialty? What is going to be your area of doctoring?
That is a good question. Before med school, I kind of just thought orthopedic surgery would be such a cool thing to be doing, especially because I could really hook sports into it. And I mean, obviously I love sports and activity and things like that. So orthopedic surgery was kind of what I thought, but now, like every week when we're looking at a new system, like I'm like, oh, maybe I like this, or like, and then the next week it happens again, and I'm like, oh, I actually think I like this better. So I don't really know right now, but I think probably maybe in the next year I'll figure it out. But I mean, I'm not going to be applying for residencies for a couple years anyway, so I've got some time, luckily.
Yeah, I was going to say, you probably don't need to decide just yet because they're going to kind of, I guess, teach you a little bit about several things. And then from there, you can kind of pick your interest, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Well, very cool.
Yeah.
Now, You said multiple times that you are a fan of sports.
Yep.
You're from just outside of Toronto, and you are currently in Ireland. And so, like I said, I've been to Toronto, and so I know Toronto has a professional basketball team, a professional, I would imagine, hockey team, right? Yeah, the Maple Leafs or something, right?
Yep, Maple Leafs, yep.
And they also have a professional, I guess you call it football or soccer or whatever you call it, right?
Yeah, the Toronto FC. We'd call it soccer, yeah.
Okay, so since you are a Canadian Irishman, are you a dual citizen?
Yep, exactly. Yeah, I've got both my passports and citizenship for Canada and Ireland.
Okay, Ireland. And so, are you a soccer hooligan? Like, is that your favorite sport? Please say no. Please say no.
No, I played soccer. I played pretty much, well, I guess every sport a normal kid would play. Like, I played rugby growing up, ice hockey. I played a little bit of soccer, volleyball. Actually, I never played football, like American football. But other than that, like track and field, I did too. But I wouldn't say I'm like fanatic for any sport other than maybe speed skating.
Speed skating. Well, I'm glad you brought that up. I believe, if I am not mistaken, you skate for Ireland, right?
Yep, exactly.
Why Ireland and not Canada?
Long story, but we have lots of time. So,
yeah, $5 worth.
Yeah, true. Hopefully it doesn't auto shut off. There's no countdown going on, so who knows? Yeah, so I've been short track speed skating since I was probably 9 or 10, and I'm 24 now, so like 15 years. And grew up skating in the Ontario like provincial competitions, and then ended up making the nationals, and then a couple times skating, well, they call it the North Americans, but yeah, it was just really Canada and the US. Anyways, so Canada has a ton of short track speed skaters, and I was always pretty good for my age, better than average. And then in high school, kept going at it. The change to university was kind of a big one. I was like, some schools I wouldn't be able to skate because they don't have a team that's very good, or they don't have one at all. So I went to Quebec, which is very well known in Canada for being pretty much the best place to speed skate. But anyways, I was never like top 5 or 10 in Canada. And to be on the national team, I think it's like top 6 or 8, all ages as well. So we had been in contact with the Irish Speed Skating and Ice Skating Federation probably 4 years ago, and they didn't have a team at that time. So they knew we were speed skaters. We had dual citizenship, so we have like the right to skate for Ireland. So skating for Ireland gave, well, Sean also is, so it gave the two of us kind of an opportunity to skate on the international level, because in Canada, we probably weren't going to make it to the top 8, therefore not making the national team, and then not having that opportunity. So we got in contact with them, and we've been over to Dublin many times coaching little kids and just trying to build up the sport, because as I said, they never had anyone speed skating in Ireland before us. So we kind of saw it as an opportunity to build speed skating and this new sport in another country, which our grandparents are from, which was pretty cool. And then also we got the opportunity to skate on the World Cup circuit, the World Championships, all that stuff. So yeah, kind of a double whammy of, we got an awesome opportunity because we were good, but we weren't the best in Canada. And then also building up the sport.
I think that makes sense. You know, you could either be the best person on maybe a smaller team or riding the bench. Like, you could be a starter for Ireland or sitting on the bench for Canada.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So we took that opportunity. I guess, yeah, like, I love college football too, just following it. So, like, you see, you know, a lot of backup QBs switching teams because they'll start on this other team, but they won't on Alabama because they're the best.
Well, I think a pretty good example is this just past year, Tony Parker of the San Antonio Spurs was going to be a reserve, like a bench player, second string for the Spurs, but then he got the opportunity to be a starter for, I guess, the Charlotte Hornets, I think. Okay. Are they called the Charlotte Hornets? I don't know what they're called. Anyway, he moved to...
Is that the... Oh, no, I'm thinking of the New Orleans Pelicans, sorry.
That's where I got confused because I was also thinking that.
Yeah, the Charlotte Hornets is the team. Yeah, man, there's a lot of the Pelicans. That seems like a really weird name to be calling yourselves, but anyways.
Well, the weird part is that the teams keep leaving because didn't they used to be the Hornets?
Yeah, that's why I was confused. Yeah,
and then before that they were the Jazz.
Yeah, okay.
So I guess the weird part is that teams keep leaving, and then they still keep getting more teams. That's weird.
Yeah, that's true. I've been skating for the Irish national team for this will be my third season now. So my first World Cup was in November 2016, and then I did my first World Championships that year as well, and European Championships. So yeah, it's been a really cool couple of years.
Now, you said that initially you guys had reached out to, I think you said the Irish Speed Skating Federation?
Yeah, called the Ice Skating Association of Ireland. So it encompasses, figure skating, speed skating, and then ice dancing, but there's not any ice dancing there, or at least not a proper...
So it encompasses all of those, but at the time there was no speed skating and there was no ice dancing?
Yeah, so it would pretty much just be encompassing the figure skating then, yeah.
So basically you guys just reached out and said, hey, I know that y'all don't technically have any speed skaters, but would you like to have a couple?
Yeah, my dad was a big part in it, and he's on the board right now, or the committee for the speed skating committee. So Ireland was really set on having speed skating, and it's called the International Skating Union, the ISU, that governs both figure skating and speed skating, both short track and long track. So Ireland had the membership for figure skating, but because they didn't have any international speed skaters, they didn't have membership for short track. So they pretty much started from the ground up. They wrote the rules. They had to jump over 1 million hurdles. And then when I started competing and Sean did, we had provisional membership. And then after a year, they gave us full membership because we passed through everything perfectly. And then it's awesome because now we get more funding from the ISU as well, being full members.
Okay, so let's talk about the funding for just a few minutes. I've talked to a few Olympic athletes from different countries, and depending on the country, basically, some of the countries are like, yeah, you can compete, under our flag, but you got to pay for everything and you got to raise your own money and we're not going to help you at all. So how does the money work with, let's say, you're skating for Ireland? Do you have to raise the money yourself, or is there a fund, or how does that work?
Well, my parents have been very, very helpful in funding us. So it's kind of what happens is we pay for everything, but then we get reimbursed by the Irish Ice Skating Association. And actually, you would think because it's a new sport and it's not big in Ireland at all, like, kids don't grow up in Ireland saying, I want to be a speed skater. It's more rugby and field hockey. But we actually get, I would say, a good amount of funding for how new it is and how small the association is. So we are definitely helped quite a bit by the Ice Skating Association. And I don't really talk to other athletes about that, just because between athletes, it might be random for me to be asking, hey, how much do you get? But I mean, I'm definitely very thankful with what we get, like flight reimbursements and hotels and things like that. So it's been pretty good. Obviously, I've had to pay for a good amount as well, and my parents have been amazing as well. But I'm happy with the situation on funding.
Very cool. One of the athletes I talked to, his country was like, yeah, you got to raise all the money, and then we're going to take some of that just because our name is on your helmet. Yeah. And then from that, you can pay for everything yourself.
That's pretty rough.
Yeah. It sounded pretty shady and a little on the crooked side. So it's good to hear that Ireland is not that way. Now, how far are you from Belfast?
Probably almost 3.5 hours by car. Unfortunately, if you go from Limerick to Belfast, it's pretty much the same distance if you go north first or if you go east. So you pretty much drive right to Dublin and then you drive north to Belfast. Not the best way to get there, but a good several hours.
Okay, now the reason I ask is because there's only a few things that everybody knows about Ireland, and one of them, besides that they make Lucky Charms, besides that, besides that, one of the only things that people know about Ireland is that it's super dangerous and there's car bombs all the time. Have you experienced any of that, or are you like, is that a concern?
In Northern Ireland, like Belfast, that's where my grandparents are both from, actually. So they moved to Alberta, Canada, actually, when they first left Ireland. They were like 21 years old, 22 years old, and they left Belfast because it was quite dangerous. And right now, I'm sure it's probably slightly more hyped than it really is. But I mean, I don't really know the situation. I definitely know that there are car bombs, and the IRA and all that is still a thing now. There's even some little communities that are gated every night at like 8 p.m. They have these massive gates that lock people in. So there's definitely some danger around there. But in Limerick, I'm feeling completely safe. Like there's nothing really going on here.
Well, that is comforting.
Yes. Yes, it is.
So you guys are the first ever speed skaters to skate for Ireland. Is that right?
Yep, exactly.
So that means that one of you is probably the fastest skater in the history of Ireland, right?
Yeah. I mean, when we had our first few races, those were records right there. Our first race was an instant national record, which is pretty funny. So yeah. So the three distances we do, the 500 meter, the 1,000 meter, and the 1,500 meter. So I had all three of them until just 3 months ago. Sean broke the 500 and 1,000, and then I re-broke my own 1,500 meter record like last weekend, actually. So
well done, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, we each have a couple, which is kind of nice.
That is very cool. You're going to go down in history forever, man, in the record books.
I hope so, yeah. Although our main goal with this now is just to build up the sport. So hopefully we'll have some up-and-coming kids that will break those records. Well, I'll definitely be a little bit jealous, but I would love to see more international level Irish speed skaters coming up in the next decade or so.
You guys are building a brand and a history over there, just like that group of fellows did for the Jamaican bobsled team back in the 80s.
Yeah. Right now it's just difficult because in the Republic of Ireland, so like normal Ireland, there are no permanent ice rinks that are open. Like there's been just north of Dublin, there was a super nice facility. It closed down. And then there's all these pop-up ones that come up just for like the winter months. People love it, but then they all close when spring comes around. So getting people to speed skate is super difficult when they can't do it year round, you know?
Yeah, that's probably like trying to get people interested in playing hockey in Phoenix.
Yeah.
You know, in the desert.
Exactly.
So do you have to have ice to train? Like, are there things you can do not on ice to kind of keep yourself in shape and to keep training?
Yeah. Like when I moved here at the end of August last year, I wasn't really sure how it was going to go because there is no ice except from November to February. There's no ice here. So I hadn't been on the ice from when I started school until I went back to Canada for Christmas. So I was off the ice for almost 4 straight months, but I love exercising and I've got a road bike here. So I do a lot of road cycling, a lot of running, a lot of workouts in the gym. And then there's this thing, we call it dry land. So it's just like off ice speed skating where you just do speed skating movements, but on like cement. So I do quite a bit of that too. So yeah, it's definitely would be nicer to have ice and to train here. But as I said, I competed last weekend after being off the ice for several months and I broke my own record, which was ridiculously surprising. So I think I'm doing okay with no ice. Obviously, I'd like to have ice, but we'll see what we can do in the next few years of getting a permanent rink.
Well, maybe you need to call Gretzky's dad, because didn't he just build an ice rink for his kid? Maybe you need to call that dude's dad and see if he could just fly over to Ireland and build you a rink.
That would be perfect.
Or just, build you some ice. Now, speed skating, I would imagine, involves some very specific muscle movements. And so in order to keep those movements in shape, are you doing like inline skating? Is that how you're doing it?
I don't have inline skates with me here, but I have done inline skating in the past. But over Christmas, I was talking about that with my parents of getting some inline skates over here, just because that would actually be super helpful. That's what a lot of the Americans do. They come over from inline skating and then because inline isn't in the Olympics, a lot of people move over to short track and long track because they would like to be in the Olympics. So pretty much all the best speed skaters in the US right now were past inliners. So that is definitely an option.
In the absence of inline skates, what exactly is your, I guess you called it, dry land workout? What are you doing on the cement to keep those muscles?
Just like basic position, we'd call it, where you're literally just in the hunched over speed skating position, holding it for like a certain amount of time and building up a massive amount of burn in your legs, and then doing some plyometrics, some jumping, single leg work as well, because when we're skating, we're on one leg a lot of the time. Well, and switching in between. So doing a lot of body weight exercise kind of stuff down in that speed skating position is kind of what dryland would be. But it's not really the same. It's about as similar as you can get, but being on the ice is second to none. You kind of need to be on the ice to get those exact specific muscles.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, you keep referencing short track versus long track. What's the difference?
Short track is on a 111 meter track. So just a normal hockey rink. We have helmets on. We've got like full cut proof on. Whereas long track is on like a giant oval. Well, it's a 400 meter track because you have to kind of switch sides. Yeah, it's like 400 meter track versus 111 meter track. And then long track, you don't wear a helmet either. If you Google it, I'm not explaining it very well, but if you Google it, you'd be like, oh, that makes perfect sense.
So is the difference, I mean, besides obviously the longer distance, is the difference like tighter circles for short track?
Yeah, the turns are obviously quite a bit tighter. Where long track speed skaters, they have these things called clap skates. So the blade is only attached to your boot on the front, like right underneath your toes, essentially. And that allows the blade to like kind of clap, hence the clap skate. And you can get like essentially just more of a push. But if you use those on short track, you need the stability and rigidity in a short track boot, which is attached front and back, to do the crazy tight turns. So you'll see in short track people pivoting, it's called, where you're going around a super tight corner and you're leaned over so much that your hand is touching the ice. But in long track, you would never see that because it's such a big turn that you just keep moving.
I think you called them clap skates?
Yep.
That sounds crazy dangerous. Like the back, it's not even attached to the back. So is it like pivoting or like, can it move?
It would only go like up, down. It wouldn't go left and right. But yeah, you'll have to give it a Google or a YouTube video just to fully experience it. But it is pretty cool. I've tried long track a few times and it's good to cross train with long track, but it's very, very weird. You're like, what? Like this blade is just going from the ice, smacking my foot, then back onto the ice. And yeah, it's pretty funny.
It sounds like trying to sprint in flip-flops.
That would be exactly what it would look like. But because we're doing pushes more to the side, it's better to have the clap skates. Because, yeah, if you were running, you would be like, you'd never want that. But anyway.
Sure. That sounds crazy. And why do they not wear helmets for long track? Is it just less likely that they're going to fall?
Yeah, it's that. But also in long track, you're racing. There's only two people on the track at once, and you're in separate lanes. So you never come in contact with other people. So they don't have gloves on. They don't have a helmet. They have a speed skating suit on, like the tight suit, but usually it's not cut proof. Whereas short track, you can race anywhere from 4 to 8 people at a time, and you're like bashing into them, and the track's so tight, so there's lots of falls. So you need full cut proof suit, gloves, helmet. I mean, I wear glasses to cover wind and ice chunks in my eyes. So yeah, it's a little bit more dangerous, the short track.
So you keep saying cut-proof suit. Now, is that a suit that is resistant to being cut by the skate?
Yeah, well, it's supposed to be, but you see a lot of the time crashes come and usually the person's okay, but the suit is cut open. And it's like, well, how good is this? But it's made of Dyneema, which is supposed to be more cut proof or cut resistant than Kevlar. They used to use Kevlar, now they use this Dyneema. So yeah, from my ankles to my neck is fully lined with this cut resistant material, but thankfully I've never been cut, knock on wood, but you definitely see it sometimes and it's terrifying.
Now that didn't sound like wood that you knocked on. Do you need to go knock on some wood real quick?
Oh, I hope. I'm on my desk, so this is probably like a laminate. So we'll call it wood for the sake of it.
All right, there you go. Now, you said Dyneema. That sounds a lot like your dermatones that you mentioned earlier. I thought you weren't going to get too technical.
There's full circle for you. Yeah. I don't know what Dyneema is made of. That's just what we call it.
So, how long until you graduate from doctorhood?
Well, it's a 4-year degree, so it's a graduate entry program. Actually, it's like based off of McMaster University, what they do in med school, which is near my hometown. So it's 4-year program. So I have another 3.25 or 3.5 years to go. So quite a while, but it's going to fly by because the last 4 months, as I said, felt like it was 30 minutes.
So you've got another 3.5 years or so with that. Yep. What is your plan with speed skating during those 3.5 years?
That is a very good question. I've just kind of been playing it by ear this season because I had no idea how busy med school would be. And obviously I need a little bit of downtime during the day too, but I balanced school and fitness quite well. And then I was very close to not racing 2 weekends ago just because I was quite nervous. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do. Like, I haven't been on the ice in a while. And then I actually ended up getting in 10 ice sessions before I raced, which was pretty nice. And then I ended up pretty much falling back into exactly how I used to skate, which was kind of nice. But I don't know how, like in 3 years, probably my skating muscles might fade a little bit. So we'll have to see, but I'll play it by ear. I'd love to keep skating the next few years and definitely staying involved. There's a World Cup in a few weeks, but I'm not going to be racing in it. I'll be going to it, but like literally the morning of racing because Sean will be racing in it, but I'm going to be helping coach. So I definitely want to be as involved as possible with coaching or being the team leader or racing. So I don't have a definite answer, but I'd love to keep skating.
So the short answer is you're going to stay involved in some manner?
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Now, the reason that you're not going to be competing in a couple of weeks, is that because your schedule just doesn't permit it?
Yeah. When we meet with doctors, you have to be there unless you have obviously a really good excuse or family death or something like that. And you actually have to sign in with your fingerprint and 4-digit code. So it's pretty intense. So you can miss only a few of these per semester without an excuse. So if it was an ideal world, I would race. It's in Italy. So I'd go there like on a Monday, practice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, race Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But as I said, I can't just miss another week of school. So I'll go Thursday night, only miss 1 day of school, and then just help coach and sharpen skates or do whatever Sean needs me to do. But because I won't have been on the ice at all during that week, I just won't be ready to race, you know?
Interesting. Where in Italy? Like Torino or something?
Yep, that's exactly a good guess.
Well, I mean, you know, there's probably only one Olympic skate place, like in all of Italy. It's probably just that one.
True. Yeah. So it's in Torino, like at the arena where the Olympics were as well. So it's a cool arena. I've been there. I raced in the European Championships in 2017 in Torino, and it's a nice facility.
So let's talk about that. You just said you raced it in 2017. When was the Sochi Olympics? Was that 2018? 2016.
2014 was Sochi.
Oh, man. Oh, that's right. It was in Korea this time?
2018 was Pyeongchang, South Korea.
So did you compete in the Olympics?
No, I can talk a little bit about that. So, well, I can talk even before that. So 2 years ago now, after I graduated, Sean and I moved to the Netherlands, in Heerenveen, Netherlands it was called. We kind of got invited, and then also Ireland was super good on getting us the hookups to get invited to skate with a training team in the Netherlands. And the Netherlands is the hub of speed skating of the entire world. So it was awesome to go skate with the team. We were there for about 8 months, living there, training as like 6 days a week, 2, 3, 4 times a day, depending on the week. Then we both had qualified for the 2018 Olympic qualifiers. So there were 4 competitions, 2 in Europe and 2 in Asia. So you had to become top 32 in the world to make the Olympics from those 4 competitions. So we raced in all 4 of them, and unfortunately we both weren't top 32, so we didn't make it. It was a bit of a disappointment, but it was pretty amazing to be in those Olympic qualifiers. It was a ridiculously cool experience. Yeah, it was really cool.
Well, that sounds really cool. I'm not going to ask you to speak for your brother, but do you have any interest in, trying to get to the next Winter Olympics?
Yeah, 2022 is in Beijing, China, and that's definitely something I'm thinking about. It's hard because I will literally be graduating as a doctor that same year, so I don't really know where I'll be at around that time. But for now, why not? Let's dream big and kind of go for it and just kind of see how it goes. For Sean, I'll let him speak for that, but I think he's going for it for sure.
Well, I wish you the best of luck. I think that'd be super, super dope.
Yeah.
Whichever one of you gets to the Olympics first, I would imagine is going to be the first ever speed skating Irish man.
Yeah. And it would be huge, because another problem too is we don't get in the news very much like a lot of other sports. So it's hard to kind of reach the whole country. But I can imagine if we made the Olympics, then a lot of people would find out about us very fast.
Yeah, similar to, like we said earlier, the Jamaican bobsled team from the 80s.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Before I let you go, Ryan,
Yep.
I do appreciate you taking the time and, jumping through those hurdles to make this happen.
Yep.
So thank you very much for that. Can you tell everybody where they can find you on social media?
Yeah, for sure. I've got probably too many social media accounts, but my main account that Sean and I use is on Instagram would be at elite_performance_training. So that's where we kind of showcase a lot of our fitness stuff, and we like to kind of goof around on it, make funny videos, make workout videos, stuff like that. And then my personal one is at Holy McAnuff, which is a play on the Toronto Maple Leafs announcer. He always goes, Holy McAnuff, when they score a goal. And I have no idea what it means, but I stole it, and now it's my Instagram name.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
And Twitter?
Twitter at the DJ Raz. And a quick story behind that. When I was younger, I had a YouTube channel where I made remixes, and I called myself a DJ. I DJ'd at a wedding, actually, which is hilarious. But I haven't done that in many, many, many years. So I should probably change my Twitter handle, but I don't really care. So it's going to stay.
So you did DJ remixes, and you said that was on YouTube?
Yeah, it actually kind of blew up. Like, I had over 1 million views on my account for all my, I had 30 or 40 remix kind of mashup songs, I guess you could call them. But yeah, I haven't really been on that. Sean and I have a YouTube account now. It's just Elite Performance Training again. And I think what we're trying to do on that is there's not really a speed skating guru on YouTube, at least that we know about. So we've tried to make lots of the dryland workouts, and we've done some on ice videos and stuff like that. So we're trying to just build up on YouTube and different platforms. So we like social media.
Yeah, you hear that, Apollo Ono? They're coming for you, man.
Yeah, right. Don't tell him that. He'll kill me.
So, do you remember which one of your DJ mixes was maybe the most popular?
Yeah, it was a mashup of Lose Yourself by Eminem, and the song was that Jay-Z Linkin Park Numb Encore. I don't know if you know that song, but it was a mashup of a mashup, I think. Very confusing. But yeah, I think it was like, I want to say that was like the bulk of my views. It was like 700,000 maybe.
Wow. Well, let me ask you this, since I have been super greedy and asked a lot of you, including $5, I guess. Can I play that remix? Can I include that in this episode?
Yeah, for sure. I don't know how good it is. I haven't listened to it in like 5 years.
Now, you said you don't know if it's any good. Well, it had that many views, so it was either really, really good or terrible.
Yeah.
And either way, I want to play it.
Yeah, true. Exactly. That's funny.
I mean, it could be, what was his name? Will Hung. Do you remember him?
No, I don't think so.
So back when American Idol was first getting started and they would show all of the terrible auditions or whatever, this one guy, I believe he was Korean, I think, and his name was William Hung, and he went by Will Hung, and he became super famous because his audition was so terrible.
Oh,
like he actually went on tour because people were paying to see him be so terrible.
That is so weird. I've never heard of that.
You should look that up and listen to you can probably only handle a small amount of it, but you should check him out. I think he's most famously did La Vida Loca.
Okay.
I think that was his big cover that was interesting. Let's say that.
I really like music. I want to make music my living. Talk to me. Tell me your sign. You're switching sides like a Gemini. You're playing games and now you're hitting my heart like a drum. Yeah, baby. She bangs, she bangs. Oh, baby, when she moves, she moves. I go crazy cause she looks like a flower, but she stings like a bee. Like every girl in history. She bangs, she bangs. I'm wasted by the way
Thank you. You can't sing, you can't dance. So what do you want me to say?
I already gave my best, and I have no regrets at all.
Good for you.
That's good. Now that's good.
William.
That's good.
That's the best attitude yet.
I have no professional training of singing or dancing, so.
Well, there's the surprise of the century.
William, you're the best. You're the best.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, William.
Okay,
Thank you, William.
Thank you.
Now, Ryan, is there anything that we didn't talk about or I didn't ask you that you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, no, not really. Oh, I had one little comment just on funding. The biggest expense for us is our training because we don't get, we're not paid athletes or anything. So, when we were living in the Netherlands, that was, a lot of money we had to move there, pay for an apartment, stuff like that. We have a sponsorship with a supplement company called USANA, which is actually Salt Lake City, Utah is where they're based out of. And they're awesome. They send us giant boxes of protein and vitamins and stuff like that every month. But yeah, hopefully in the next coming years, if we get a little bit more known in Ireland, getting monetary sponsorships just to kind of help pay for equipment and training costs and living costs and stuff. But no, other than that, I think we covered a lot of it. Hopefully I made sense with explaining things.
Absolutely. I think it was very interesting, fascinating, if you will. So thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not asking this because you're Irish or because you're Canadian. Do you have a problem with alcohol? And by problem, I mean, are you against alcohol? Do you not drink?
Yeah, I don't really drink. When I was competing, definitely not, but I don't really have anything against it. I'll have an odd beer here and there every month or something, but I don't know. I'm not a huge... I don't love beer and the taste of it.
So the reason I'm asking is because, ladies and gentlemen, he says he has a beer every once in a while, and that beer is Guinness. So when I reach out to Guinness on your behalf and ask them to sponsor you guys, that's what you say you drink.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the two things you're not allowed to be sponsored by is an alcohol company and a cigarette company. So no, Guinness, unfortunately. I would love to be sponsored by Guinness. It's the most Irish thing you can think of, but
so
no.
Whose rule is that you can't be sponsored by an alcohol?
That's the International Skating Union. I guess they don't want people to be I'm an Olympic athlete and I love Guinness. I don't have a problem with it. But if I skate at the World Championships, I would not be able to have an alcoholic sponsor.
Well, tell that to the United Bobsled Federation, because Jamaica bobsled team's primary sponsor is Red Stripe Beer.
Oh, yeah? Huh. Interesting.
Well, yeah. You need to get your dad to change those rules.
There's a conflict of interest there.
Isn't it a conflict of interest for him to be on the board anyway?
He doesn't make any decisions on like who races, but if he did, then yes, that would be a bit sketchy, but he won't.
All right, well, since we can't do alcohol or tobacco, let's reach out to the Irish Resistance Army and see if... No, just kidding.
No, not... Yeah, I have a giant red hand on my body or something. No, I'll have to pass.
Is that their symbol? Is a giant red hand?
Yeah, I believe so. There's the Orangeman and the IRA and all that. I don't even know too much about it.
Good, keep it that way.
Yeah, honestly, that's probably a good thing. Maybe I can reach out to Conor McGregor. He can just send me some money.
You know what? I'll reach out on your behalf. I'll talk to him. I'll be like, look, listen here, Conor, my boy, my main man. I know that you're busy fighting a bunch of legal troubles right now because you have a temper, but... No. All right. Well, thank you so much, Ryan. I really, really appreciate you taking the time, and I want you to have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
And again, dude, thank you so much, man. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah. If you have any more questions or anything, just send me a message, or we can hop on another call if you want, or whatever.
You have a great day, man. I really appreciate it.
You as well. Cheers. Bye.
Bye.
If you had one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted in one moment, would you capture it? Or just let it slip? Yo.
His arms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti, he's nervous, but on the surface he looks calm and ready to drop bombs. But he keeps on forgetting what he wrote down. The whole crowd goes so loud, he opens his mouth, but the words won't come out. He's choking how? Everybody's choking now. The clock's run out, time's up, over, loud. Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, there goes gravity. Choke. He's so mad, but he won't give up. That is he know he won't have it. He knows his whole back to these ropes. It don't matter. He's broke. He knows that, but he's broke. He's so stagnant. He knows when he goes back to this mobile home, that's when it's back to the lab again, yo. This old rhapsody better go capture this moment and hope it don't pass. You better lose yourself in the music. The moment you own it, you better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better lose yourself in the music. The moment you own it, you better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better. His soul's escaping through this hole that is gaping. This world is mine for the taking. Make me king as we move toward a new world order. A normal life is boring. The superstardom's close to postmortem. It only grows harder. Homie grows hotter. He blows, it's all over. These hoes is all on him. Coast to coast shows, he's known as the globetrotter. Lonely roads, God only knows he's grown farther from home. He's no father. He goes home and barely knows his own daughter. But hold your nose, cause here goes the cold water. These hoes don't want him no more. He's cold product. They moved on to the next mo who flows. He knows dove and sold nada. So the soap opera is told. It unfolds. I suppose it's old partner, but the beat goes on. That don't you better lose yourself in the music. The moment you own it, you better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better lose yourself in the music. The moment you own it, you better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better. No more games. I'ma change what you call rage. Tear this motherfucking roof off like two dogs' cage. I was playing in the beginning, the mood all changed. I've been chewed up and spit out and booed off stage, but I kept rhyming and stepped right in the next cipher. Best believe somebody's paying the Pied Piper. All the pain inside amplified by the fact that I can't get by with my 9 to 5, and I can't provide the right type of life for my family. Cause man, these goddamn food stamps don't buy diapers, and there's no movie, there's no McAnuff Pfeiffer. This is my life and these times are so hard, and it's getting even harder trying to feed and water my seed. Plus, see the taught apart between being a father and a prima donna. Baby mama drama screaming on it too much for me to wanna stay in one spot. Another damn monotony's gotten me to the point destination. Failure's not. Mama love you, but this trailer's got to go. I cannot grow old in Salem's lot. So here I go, it's my shot. Feet fail me not. This may be the only opportunity that I got. You better lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime.
Hey guys, this is Steve Owens from Fascination Street Podcast here with a very important message. I'm awesome. I bet you thought I was going to say something else, but nope. What's important here is that I am awesome. I started this show because I truly believe that everybody has a story, and I'm fascinated to hear those stories. In the short time I've been doing this show, I've interviewed actors, directors, writers, inventors, podcasters, musicians, pro athletes, Olympic athletes, actual war heroes, even a Bond girl and a luthier, whatever the hell that is, and of course, regular people. From people who wanted to be stars but never gave it a real try, to big company CEOs and people who got to meet their favorite president. I love getting to meet and speak with people who have a story to tell. I feel like everyone does, and it's my job to get them to tell it. You never know who my next guest will be. An Academy Award-winning actor, a platinum-selling musician, or your own mother-in-law. But one thing is for certain, you will be fascinated by their story. So come take a walk with me down Fascination Street. You can find Fascination Street Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and of course, FascinationStreetPod.com. Opening music is the song Magnolia from the 2014 album Intransigence, used with permission from Douglas Miles Clark. Closing music is Apollo from the 2001 album Into the Known by the band Sapphire. Thanks for hanging out with us and getting to know a little bit about our guest. We'll see you next time on Fascination Street.